YouTube, we've got some AJ Dillon, aka the Quad Father gameplay. This is actually my first game. If you're watching, if you're from my 97 overall squad update, this is my first game with the 97 overall team. This is some head-to-head seasons. The only player I do not have from that team in this gameplay is going to be the left tackle, Andrew Thomas. But other than that, it's that team. Also, ability-wise on AJ Dillon, by the way, our opponent is using AJ Dillon. You see me trying to use the AJ Dillon counter, aka avalanche, on Jamal Adams, aka, but what I'm using on him is just going to be your standard persistent for 0 AP, and then the Quad Father avalanche for 1 AP X Factor. And yeah, that is gonna be it. The conversation I wanted to have with this video, though, the topic was, you know, should they nerf AJ Dillon? I also want to talk about some former, like, most overpowered cards in MUT history. We could have that combo too, but getting on the topic of should AJ Dillon be nerfed. Some people want the AP raised on the X Factor, some people want the X Factor deleted altogether, and some people want it to stay the same. Now, I see the point of view from really all three people. First off, the run game in Madden 23 on next-gen gameplay just flat out isn't good. The offensive line is not good at all. You guys know me, I run 10% of the play calls, I pass 90% of the time. I mean, the O-line logic, passing and running is bad, but running, it is really bad. And even if you break tackles, like in Madden 23, rarely you do. The animation takes so long. It's like you break the tackle and it's like they're already there to like gang tackle you. So it's really hard to run the ball in Madden 23, but AJ Dillon makes it easy. You also have the people that just want it to be deleted altogether. I don't really agree with that. Now, do I think the AP should be raised on it? I'm going to have to say yes. I think it should stay in the game. I don't think it's awful for the game because it's definitely a pass-heavy meta, so having a run game with someone like AJ Dillon, it's fun, man. The MCS season is over. You know, having some glitchy, overpowered cards in January and so on, second half of the year, it's not the worst thing. By the way, look at this run with a little juke, broken tackle, and AJ Dillon is off the races. We got a little frame rate lag in there too, but we make it all the way, make it 7-3. But I think the most agreeable, especially for the people that wanted to stay in the game, I mean, just making it 2 or 3 AP probably makes the most sense. I mean, you take a look at Bono's from last year, probably the most comparable X Factor to this Quad Father Avalanche. It was the same X Factor. The only difference was AJ Dillon starts with it activated, whereas William Perry and Bono's last year, you had to get, I think it was 5 or 3 carries for 1 yard. The deactivation process was the same thing. You need to, like, you know, tackle for loss 1 or 2 times. William Perry last year would knock out of the zone, but it's basically the same X Factor, except Bono's last year, I think it was, I want to say 3 AP or 4 AP for both Bo Jackson and William Perry, and it was definitely overpowered, but it wasn't like everyone was running it. Honestly, with all the abilities we have in this game that are 0 AP, I mean, look how many abilities we have on each side of the ball. We probably have, what, 8 abilities, 8 players with abilities or X Factors on each side of the football, so it's not like we're lacking for abilities. So making, you know, this probably the best X Factor in the game, you could say the best ability in the game, like 3 to 4 AP, it wouldn't be the worst. I mean, you could just take off a few secure protectors on offense, and boom, you got it. So it's not the end of the world. I personally would 100% still run it if it was like 3 or 4 AP. Last year, I loved the William Perry with Bono's, and how I actually use this Avalanche ability or X Factor is more so in the passing game, because you don't run the risk, right? If you pass him the ball, he's still going to break the first tackle in open space, but you don't run the risk of ever losing it. So you just, you know, keep passing the ball on little checkdowns. You guys know me, I'm called a checkdown merchant. I throw to my running backs, probably my running backs, then my tight ends, and my slot receiver. That's like the order of operations in my offense. My running back is going to catch 5 or 6 passes a game, so AJ Dillon is, you know, going to be the best at that, even though he has low catching. And then some people, right, getting the conversation of, you know, overpowered cards in MUT history, you know, Eric Dickerson. I wouldn't really call Eric Dickerson, or I wouldn't really compare the two. The reason being, Eric Dickerson was good. It was the same ability. I think it was called Avalanche, like NFL 100 Avalanche, where it was the same thing, deactivation process, loss of yards, broke the first tackle. But Madden 20 as a whole was just a running meta. I mean, MCS pros, 3rd and 8, their tournament on the line, would call stretch. That's everything you need to know about the Madden 20 run game. So not only was Eric Dickerson overpowered, but there was a lot of other running backs that were very, very, very good in that game. So Eric Dickerson is like on he's in a status, a tier of his complete own. I mean, you look at back in any Madden 20 running back, they're just in their own tier. They're not comparable to the run game that is, let's be honest, it's atrocious in this game. The offensive line is really, really bad. I mean, take a look at the sack right there. My opponent sending 5, I'm blocking 6. Look at AJ Dillon try to block a defensive end or a slot corner. They have no idea what they're doing. So let You guys let me know how you feel about AJ Dillon. Do you guys think it should be nerfed, taken away? Should we just leave it in the game, create chaos for the end of Madden 23, kind of like Derrick Henry started that whole, era of overpowered players in Madden 22. But getting into this game, it is 10-10, middle of the third quarter. I have complete control of the game. We're going to start running the ball a little bit more with AJ Dillon. I said I don't really run the ball often, but now that I have this card, I kind of want to run a little bit more. Tyreek Hill there on a corner route. Love that cheated card. And then here we go. Run. Broken tackle. And then I truck 2 people. Roll on into the end zone. And it is 17-10. Now, I haven't used too many games with this crusher ability on press. I wish it stayed activated the entire time like AJ Dillon. That would be really, really fun. But what it is, it's a downhill hit stick is a guaranteed forced fumble. So I'm trying to practice my gap shoots for when they run with AJ Dillon. And if I get that hit stick and time it up, it's, big meets big and we force fumble. But our opponent, I don't understand how that was completed. He had ran that Texas route out of bunch, I think 2 or 3 times before that. I shaded down my yellow. Ted Hendricks was in position and just for some reason didn't make the play. But we're going to start sending some pressure because he was really looking for deeper routes rather than shorter routes. And it takes 4 to 5 seconds for those routes to develop. He also has Mark Brunell, and I know Mark Brunell personally has a very long, deep release. So I'm trying to send as much pressure as I can. We get a stop, 4th and 24. Felt like he probably could have punted that, especially he had gotten stops before. But yeah, we get a stop, turnover on downs. We start with AJ Dillon, then we try to run a passing play, Tyreek Hill. And that was a little bit weird because that was actually match coverage, but the zone KO still played it. I feel like if it's match coverage, it should be a man KO. It shouldn't be a zone KO. I feel like it's a little bit overpowered, but maybe I should start running match. But there we go. We throw the interception against match coverage into a C round. Our opponent is looking to tie it up. I probably should just ran 4 straight or 3 straight times with AJ Dillon, taking my field goal, and the game would have been over. But it's head-to-head. I'm trying to try some things out, learn my offense a little bit better, my new offense, Packers playbook. So we threw the ball, we threw an interception, but our opponent now is going to start abusing these little corner routes where he's throwing before they even break. So normally Tyreek Hill would run into my deep left zone, but while he's throwing it on the break, my user's not there. It's going to be a completion every time. AJ Dillon down to the 1-yard line. You would think 2nd and goal, and he's got AJ Dillon with Avalanche. He's bound to get in. I run commit on 2nd down and goal. He just overthrows. Probably would have been a lurk. 3rd and goal, I run commit again. We actually stop AJ Dillon at the 1. I call his bluff. I don't run commit. He passes the ball. Don't know if it was going to be a completion, but threw it off his lineman's head. I think it was a low ball. And just like that, turnover on downs. We need a few first downs and this game is over. I go to one of my favorite short yardage passing plays, a little high-low between the running back and the slot receiver. And then we're going to rely on AJ Dillon. He's not going to get a yard there. But 3rd and 1, we go to him again. He's going to break that first tackle as he always does and fight for the first down. So one more first down and this game is over. He's going to run commit a few times. AJ Dillon there didn't. I guess he did break the tackle from the corner. But like I said, running the ball in this game isn't that good. Even if you break the tackle, there's always a 2nd guy there. 3rd and 4, though, we run again, and just like that, the game is over. No X factor needed. Stiff arm, get off me. I want to say that is Richard Sherman. And just like that, AJ Dillon is going to ice the game. 17-10. A little low-scoring head-to-head game, but I thought it was perfect gameplay in the background. To talk about AJ Dillon and the run game in general. Comment if you have any questions. Like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. And until next time, peace.